Hey there, welcome to this very special bonus episode of the 30-Day Year podcast. Today, Dave and I just wanted to break down our 30-day year goal setting worksheet, which is included beneath this video, so you can download that. It's free to download, and we really encourage you to do that, especially if you've been listening to us for a while and you're really interested in this concept of turning your annual income into your monthly income. The first step is getting the goal on paper. So download the worksheet and then you can follow along with us. And right here, right now, I'm going to pepper Dave with questions and we're going to actually break down the 9 rules to effective goal setting just to make sure that you feel really confident when you sit down and actually write your goal out. And you'll have just a little bit more insight to run with. And all of these concepts, everything we're going to talk about is in the worksheet. So everyone has access to this. So you can even be like nerdy and like print it out and like watch this along with us and treat it like a little mini class if you want. Like if you're nerdy like me, that's what I would do. So you can do that if you want. So let's start at the beginning. So we have the 9 rules of effective goal setting. Before I quickly dive into that, there's a few more things that we usually have people do before they get to this phase. And one of them is the 7 days of dreaming challenge. And I find that is such a beautiful exercise to start with when you're beginning a 30-day year goal setting journey, because some people are just not sure what they want yet. They're not sure how to even like visualize or see their life in that way. I know lots of people can't even go there. You'll be like, what would happen if you took your 200K job and made it every month? They're like, their eyes get big. They like lose their breath. They can't even like imagine. It's just so big. And I understand that. I felt the same way when it was positioned to me. So the 7 days of dreaming challenge, which is in the worksheet as well, is really simple. Just for 7 days, you just brainstorm. What would you like to see? What would you like? What do you want in your life? And what do you want personally? And what do you want professionally? And you repeat this every day for 7 days. And I know you're kind of the creator of that challenge. So why do you think 7 days is a good amount of time? Or why do you give people multiple days to work on it?
Oh yeah, I just tell people to just daydream for 7 days. Most people have never daydreamed for even 7 minutes, on what they want to create in their life. So to sit down every day for 15, 30 minutes and just really start to dream. And as you dream, just write whatever comes to your mind, write it down. You don't need to feel anxiety when you do it because you're not making a decision. So you're just writing it down. After 7 days of doing this exercise, you'll start to see some common themes, and these are wants in your life, and you can structure incredible goals and an incredible life from out of those wants.
For sure. And really find a lot of clarity, and just get some enthusiasm back in your life. Like we've done episodes about being caught in ruts and things like that, and one of the best ways to get out is to just have fun and start dreaming again. So the 7 days of dreaming challenge can be helpful at any phase of your growth.
Let your hair down.
My hair is wild today. It's like curly, and I guess a new side of me is coming out today. So anyways, once that's done, then there's some more prompts in here to keep expanding upon that. Like one of the exercises in this worksheet is like, what does life look like when you achieve your 30-day year? What does a day in the life look like? And you start to daydream again and maybe provide more context as to what day-to-day life looks like. So there's a whole bunch of prompts in here to help you work through that. And then you'll make your way to the 9 rules of effective goal setting. So this is kind of fun. So Dave and I were in New York City last April. Dave took me on a really fun trip for my birthday when I turned 40. And I guess I got really inspired on that trip because I came up with these rules. Dave and I worked on this together, but I started writing it out. And he kind of like proofread it and approved it and said, yeah, I think you're onto something here. And so he really did help me with it. But it really started to give us a great framework to explain why we word goals the way we do. Because there is a lot of I would say, experience. There's a lot of, I suppose, backstory or reasoning why we like things done in a certain way, and that I think have a really important impact on the goal itself, and then actually make it easier and more fun for the person to implement. Yeah. So we'll start at the beginning. So the first one is begin with gratitude. Did you want to read the rules for us?
Yeah. So start to set goals that make your life better and substantially better. That's the purpose of a goal. The purpose of a goal is not to get, is to grow, is to start to become aware of how incredible you really are. And there's not a human being in the world that knows your potential, what you're capable of, not even you. So we start to set goals to start to express more of this infinite potential that you have locked up inside of yourself. So when you begin to set a goal, start with gratitude. Start every goal with gratitude to align yourself with a higher state of mind. Gratitude sets the tone and creates the emotional frequency needed to connect with your vision. Begin your statement with, I'm so happy and grateful now that. Now, you would need a little bit of subconscious mind education to understand that. But what gratitude draws you closer to things. So if you're grateful to someone, you're drawn towards that someone. If you are resentful or angry at someone and you have no gratitude for them, you will be repulsed by that person. So as you start to use gratitude at the beginning of your goals, when you state your goal, you will start to set the mindset of drawing yourself closer to that idea.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great way to start too. It just like sets the tone right off the top, right? The second piece is use money as a measurable metric and add a date. So your goal must include a clear dollar amount. We recommend setting a 30-day goal, so turning current annual income into monthly. While money isn't the ultimate aim, it's a universal measure of value, growth, and impact. So you want to include intention words like with ease, style, and grace to define how you want to earn it. It doesn't have to be those words specifically, though. You can use your own. Those are just the ones we've used as an example. You want to add a specific date. We like using 1 year from now as like a good benchmark, 12 months. And that creates urgency and focus. And lastly, if you don't hit it by that 12-month mark, reset the timeline and recommit. Just keep going. That's the key.
Yeah, so start to use money as a metric because money's measurable. And money is a measurement of the quality and quantity of your service. But also, when it comes to setting goals and dates on goals, I've had some clients that have come from different mentorships and different philosophies where they say, "Oh, don't put a date on it. It'll stress you out." Well, if you understand step number 1, where you say, "I'm so happy and grateful now that," you need to understand that your subconscious mind does not know the difference between real and imagined. This is why you could be sitting at home, watch a scary movie, and then like you're feeling terrified, and then you go to bed and you think there's a murderer in your house. That's because your subconscious mind doesn't know that that's a movie. It's responding to whatever suggestion that it has been exposed to. So when you start to set goals, when you set a date, what you're really doing is you're making an agreement. I am going to focus on that one idea until that date. Now, what's very interesting is I've never had a client ever call me up complaining that their goal came too soon. So I've never had a client call me up like, "Oh, Dave, like I had 12 months that I would earn $100,000 in a month on my card, and it came after 4 months." Never have I ever had a complaint about that. However, I have talked to people that might be 9 months into their journey and they're already stressing out that they're not seeing, their goal happen. And I say to them, well, look at your attitude. You're not telling the subconscious mind that you have it. You're telling it that you're working towards it. You have to understand the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind does not know the difference between real and imagined. So when you put a date on it, you're making an agreement. I am going to focus. I'm going to give my mental energy, my mental resources, my time, my money. I'm going to focus on this and I'm going to pour all into this idea. That's why you put dates on it. If you don't hit the date, so my first goal was I earn $100,000 a month. I was a carpenter earning $5,000 a month. And after 12 months, I did see the needle move a little bit, but I never hit the 100. So I renewed it. And I made another agreement. I'll spend the next 12 months going after this goal. 12 months passed again. Didn't hit it. Saw the needle move, was acquiring immense amount of ability and awareness. And then I renewed it again. And then after 7 months, so on the 31st month is when I crossed the $100,000 a month. And it never went back after that.
Yes, it's just about renewing it, right? Keep
it's focus.
Keep it 12 months and then keep going at it.
Yep. It's an idea and focus.
Yeah. Okay. So the third step is to think like a business owner. So when we talk about multiplying your income, we're referring to the revenue or what your business produces through its services. So most Conway mentorship clients are high achieving entrepreneurs, sales pros, professional coaches, which means their mindset is their greatest asset. Your income reflects your thinking, habits, and leadership. As you grow personally, your business results will follow. This isn't just goal setting, it's an identity shift. Anything to add there?
Yeah, no, I think it says it all there. Like you start to realize that if you want to increase your income, you're probably going to have to serve people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that's quite the thought to some, but
It's just simple as that. It's just as simple as that.
yeah,
Yeah.
start to think like a professional.
Yeah.
Fall in love with these ideas. Fall in love with the idea of earning more money. Okay, fall in love with that idea. Second, fall in love with the idea of serving people. Like really fall in love with it. And then third, fall in love with the idea of improving yourself so you can serve people, serve more people, and earn more money.
Yeah. 100%. Did you want to read number 4?
Sure.
One of my favorites.
Okay. Align yourself with the natural world. Nature multiplies. Isn't that the truth? So should you. One oak tree produces 10,000 acorns in its lifetime. You hold unlimited potential. Setting a big stretch goal taps into your natural capacity to grow, evolve, and expand. Thinking small cuts you off from what you're truly capable of.
Yeah. So that's integrated right into the goal setting process, that when you set a big multiplication goal, it's really putting you in harmony with nature. The carrot produces how many carrot seeds? Like thousands, right? So
Yeah.
the idea is that we want to see everybody multiply and tap into that potential.
Yeah, one of the problems with this is that we don't realize that we're a part of nature. So we're so programmed to live from within here that we look out and we think that we're different than nature, but we are governed by the exact same laws. So the mathematics of nature is compound interest. It's not 1 + 1, it's multiplication. So start to set goals. It's actually, there's books out now called 10x is easier than 2x. So this sort of idea is really starting to move through the world. And, originally there was books coming out called, The Magic of Thinking Big. So we've been told to think big always. It's just now a lot of people are actually starting to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's magic in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's natural.
That's right.
Make sure that you download our free goal setting guide. It walks you through the exact steps I take to set big 30-day year goals. Click the link below, sign up now, and get started.
Okay, number 5 is focusing on serving others. Dave touched on this a little bit, but it is its own rule here. So your goal should clearly reflect how you serve people. Who are you helping? How are you delivering results? The more value you create, the more you grow. Build in specific actions into your goal. So programs, workshops, products, things that you want to create. Don't be afraid to include the team that you're going to be building or the impact that you want to make, even if it doesn't exist yet. So if there's people that you want on your team, if there's a type of thing you want to produce, like an event or a program or anything that you want to sell, a clothing line, whatever, it can be in the goal card. And it can drive your inspiration and your imagination, like right when you're writing it out. So anything else on that?
Yeah, when I first started to do this, I was in sales and I was selling like mentorships for Bob Proctor. And one little thing I started to do is I started to visualize selling. I started to do a sales call every day, regardless if I had it on my schedule or not. So I would do them through visualization, and every day I would sell the same lady, the same package, and she would throw all kinds of crazy objections at me too.
Yeah.
She was always different.
Right.
But I always closed her. And just through that seeing things in an imaginative state, subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between real and imagined, started to pick it up. I started closing sale every single day. I remember when I wrote out my first self-image script, I started to dream about Conway mentorship and the team we would have. I was all alone.
Yeah.
Like when I wrote that,
You
like I
had
didn't have
no one.
anything that I wrote down. So, the more like imaginative ideas you can have, ideal things that you'd like to have on your goal card, the stronger it will be.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll inspire you more.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for sure. And at the end of this, we'll just read an actual goal card example. So how these rules kind of pepper into it will make a little bit more sense. So we'll read that at the end. Why don't you read number 6, Dave?
Sure.
Yeah.
6, build the person that builds the business. Results don't grow in spite of you. They grow because of you. Your habits, consistency, and mindset will dictate your business trajectory. Include affirmations within your goal that reflect your growth because a better you builds a better business.
Yeah. So I like this one because it's asking more of you through the goal. And when I write it out, that's the part that probably gets me the most like fired up and inspired, is that I want to improve in my leadership. I want to improve in the way we deliver service. I want to just constantly be finding an edge. And I think that part makes me more excited than anything. And I find it creates ideas
That's
when I
the part
read
that
it.
inspires me too. Like, who's the person that's naturally producing this goal? Build the person that builds the business. So many people are trying to build the business, but they forget to build themselves. And they are the ones that are building the business. So if you're not elevating and improving, you're going to work much too hard. And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't work for people.
That's true. Yeah. You got to it's about you, your growth. It's about your growth.
Yeah, it's about you.
Yeah.
Leaning into a higher concept of yourself.
It's a little funny because it's like, yes, it's all about you, but then it's like all about you helping people.
Yeah, fall in love with the idea of earning more money.
So it's not about you being selfish.
Fall in love with the idea of serving others. Fall in love with the idea of improving yourself so you can serve others better so you can earn more money.
There we go. It's like a cascade effect. We need some sort of like waterfall image for that. That's
1, 2, 3. That's called the 1, 2, 3 waterfall.
There we go.
Method.
Okay, we're going to come up with some waterfall imagery there. Okay, number 7, also a fun one, is layering in your wants. So your goal should excite you. And after your clearly defined goal is listed out, we want you to like sprinkle on some things that you would just like to have in your life. So maybe you want a bougie watch like Dave. He's got a really nice watch. Maybe we should like show it off at some point. It's really nice. Maybe you want a Chanel bag. Maybe you want a new home. Maybe you want a luxury vacation. There could be any variety of things that you might want. Maybe you want a ridiculous bike that's only meant to go down like crazy mountains like Dave wanted, and now he's got like 4 of them. It's like he really loved that. I don't understand it, but that's okay. That's his. He might not understand some of the things I might want on mine. So you want to have that on there because those can be like little motivators, and motivation is great. And also it's fun to reward yourself along the way. So maybe you haven't hit the 30-day year yet, but maybe you're making progress, and I see no reason to not reward yourself with something for making progress. So do you agree with that?
You got to sprinkle it in. And there's another magic in this. So, a lot of times, like, let's say you write the number down, 100 grand a month. That's a number. Mm-hmm. And maybe that number itself, like, doesn't turn you on. Like, what even is that?
Yeah.
But as you start to sprinkle all the things that you want to bring into your life, something really cool starts to happen. I call them motivators. Mm-hmm. So the next thing you know, you have a goal card. And on the goal card, you've got like a bunch of other dreams and wants on it. And what starts to happen is, even if this goal is like pretty big, you'll start to realize, you're like, whoa, I have that car. And you're like, wow, this is working. And it starts to build confidence.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah, I'm just looking at one here. We're 1 off this one now. This little sprinkle here, we're 1 off.
That's cool. That's cool.
Very.
It's just like a fun way to stay excited about it, have a bit of fun. Like you have to have fun through this process. So
yeah, and you'll chip away at the goal. You'll slowly start to bring, because your goal, you are more than a goal. Like you have a lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Like you've multifaceted between relationships, health, vehicles, lifestyle, transportation, home you live in, the food you eat, the way you're doing things, the way you work, who you work with. It's endless.
Totally.
8, you don't have to believe it yet. Resistance is normal. You don't have to fully believe your goal. It's actually best if you don't. You just need to want it. Belief is built through repetition, action, and experience. Stay committed, and the belief will follow. That's the truth.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We've seen it so many times with clients, too. When they're just, all of a sudden, the belief kicks in, and then the results come pouring in, too.
There's one gentleman that came to a call many, many years ago, and I presented the idea of 12x in your income. And this guy earned $144,000. I remember the number. He earned $144,000 a year. And he interrupted me on the call. He's like, Dave, like, are you telling me I could earn $144,000 a month? And I was like, yeah, wow, yeah, you're good at math, man. Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah, that would be it, $144 a month. And the idea really intrigued him. And he did set that as his goal. 9 months later, that guy earned over $144,000 in 1 month. But the cool thing is that when I was talking to him about it, he only started to believe it about 7 months in. Mm-hmm. Once he believed it, it was 8 weeks before it actually manifested. So the only criteria to set a goal is, do I want it? Right. And am I willing?
And it took him just the 7 months just to condition his mind to even
Believe
accept
it.
it as a
Yeah.
belief. And then it came in really quick
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because you already have the idea. What you're missing is the belief.
Yep. Yep. So step 9 is affirmation builds belief. So still on the vein of belief. So review the goal daily, read it aloud 10 times, write it out each morning. Honestly, choose something that works for you. The idea is that you want to be in an inspired state. You want to find the enthusiasm for the goal. So if writing works, if speaking it works, do whatever works for you. And another thing that's a really, really good practice is to free write any ideas or actions that flow from that goal achieved version of you. So through the action of just affirming the goal, like reading it, if you're just like reading it a few times, writing it out a couple of times, ideas will start to pour in. They will. Like you'll suddenly be like, I really should call that person. I really should just book that venue. I really should take that business trip
Yeah.
or whatever.
Inspired action.
Exactly. So those inspired actions are just going to start to come in. And the key is like, we'll write them down because sometimes they can leave and you're like, what was it again? So write them down and then just do it. Just go take action on it. That and as a constant practice is truly life-changing because you're always going to be acting from the energy and the spirit of your goal. And you will tell the difference. Like once you start using it as an affirmation, you'll notice how you feel and you'll notice the difference when you don't do it. And you'll be like, I am not in the spirit anymore. And that awareness in and of itself is super important to become aware of because you just want to be in that spirit all the time. So to know when you're not in it is just as valuable as knowing when you're in it.
Big time.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to review these rules and then you want to just formulate a goal. So Dave, this is your first 30-day year goal on the last page. So why don't you read it? And that'll kind of put a bow on this one.
Yeah. So my first goal was to earn $100,000 a month. When I wrote this out, I was a carpenter earning $5,000 a month. So I wrote down, I'm so happy and grateful now that I earn $100,000 a month with ease, style, and grace. So there's a state of mind I wanted to achieve it in. Serving people all over the world as a world-class mindset coach. So just perspective again, I was a carpenter earning $5,000 a month. I'd never coached anybody. My clients and team, I had no clients and didn't have a team either, are experiencing phenomenal results from my exceptional programs and workshops. My growth and consistency perpetually create quantum leaps for myself and everyone I come in contact with. It is done and I love it. And then I had a bunch of Jaguar, XKR, Inner Circle with Bob, speaking on a stage of Bob's and a dream house. And as I read that right now, every single thing on that list and every single thing in that goal is my reality. It's pretty amazing.
So cool. And all of the rules are like baked into this. So some of the rules are like tangible or tactical that are like more so kind of instructing you on how to write. But then some of them are really just like how to apply this, building the belief, building the desire, using it as an affirmation, using your motives and the things you want as ways to kind of inspire you and keep you going. And it's such a fun process. And we've even included sort of like a Mad Lib style, sort of like fill in the blank. So you can utilize this goal the way Dave's written it to get you started. And then I always say like imitate and then innovate. So like try out this version first, put your life in it, put your goals in it, what you want, and then see how it feels. And then as you progress, as you affirm it, then maybe like change it up a little bit, change up the language if you want, try different wording, then, have a little bit more fun with it. I do fully believe though, to just imitate this first. It really is a great format. And once you start affirming it, you'll see why. You will start to feel the difference. I utilize your framework for the way I write goals. And when I write them out, when I think about them, they really do spark creative thinking and bigger thinking. So
every goal card I've ever committed to, I've achieved.
So you know how to write goal cards.
It's pretty good.
So you're like the authority on goal cards. Is that what you're saying? You're
Yeah,
like
self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed authority on goal cards right here.
Through results.
Through results. Okay, well, this was really fun. A little bonus for everybody. So do this. Like, it's so fun. Like, what's funner than dreaming about your life? Like, this is not bad homework. This is fun homework. So download the worksheet, have fun with it, and get in touch with us if you want some feedback on your goal. Actually, you can get a coaching call with one of our amazing coaches as part of this. There's a sheet in the worksheet, so you can just scan a code and then book in with one of our amazing coaches and share your goal with them and learn more about us at Conway and see if we're a fit to keep helping you towards that goal. If this podcast is opening your eyes to powerful new ideas, helping you think bigger, and opening your level of awareness, be sure to hit subscribe right now and leave us a 5-star review. That will help us reach more ambitious people just like you ready to grow.
Produced at
Sound Lounge by T-Bone.